pimp's blood, the mouthpiece is a gold tub. Counting money, talking shit, he in fifth with a back rub. Cause in a pimp's eye, baby don't lie. Cause every word not heard game floats by. Been like a Learjet, I need a hairnet. Cause I can see there was money in your purse yet.
Gonna make money, I'ma stay hungry. Know the right time when not to say nothing, Get gone international, just campaign till I'm gon' cast your vote. I give game a good name, smooth as wood grain. Spit real talk that you wish you could say. Right time and hoes are co-sign it. My look cut glass like diamonds.
In a pimp's veins, it's not good to forget names. I'ma get that bitch, I don't care what you say, man. Yo ho is chump change, and if she wasn't so stupid, she'd be with a Mac, man. You can see me in the left lane, man, I'm a rap cat, God, I hangs with the best, man. Tattoo on her chest, man, and she'll represent the name in her brain till she rests, man. She walk like a horse, God, and when she get up his money, it's not by force, God.
Bitch, where the bank wide, let the ass drop. So deep that I can't stop, talk shit, boasting. Cloud9 mind stay floating, yet I'm showing no emotion. I'm stone faced, on deck or the home plate. Rotate on the block like you on skates. To the curb, I hit him with the right words. Chances slim, you're fucking with an iceberg. I'm gon' win, I spend to make ends. Riding alone, my phone's my best friends. I relax, you're plotting on G-stacks. Count more, lean back.
In a pimp sack, I might tell a player step back. Man, I'ma bust that bitch and her girlfriend, fuck that. And at the right time, them other be mine. It might take like 23 cold lines. Ask me anything, I'm just like butterscotch. I got information freak like a laptop. Yeah, I'm at ya, I know you got a dude. You know it's rude, but it's smooth and it's way cool. It might feel like a snake when I make moves, but if you trust me, check it out, we can't lose. Cause in a pimp side, you see dollar signs saying he's number one with the fresh vines. Cadillac right there with the pure shine, and engraved in the steering wheel, get mines. We do best having fun in the nighttime, and we can keep on riding till the sunshine. I keep a lock on your mind till lunchtime, and I'm Sugar Ray Richardson in crunch time. Never full of hot air, I don't pump lines, and the money's right there on the front line.
These hoes gon' fall like autumn leaves, make things so clear to my bottom bees. Come on, get to work, it's back and forth in town just to see what your track is worth. I'm saying all night, PM, AM, put them down at the day's end. Get long distance, know the mind of your bitches, tell them mind your business. Cause all this means something to your team of runners. Come through too clean, bitch, bring my money. No joke, I'm out for the federal notes. We from the scope where we known to keep a bitch broke. Yeah, that's right, you're trying to get your cash right. Cause all this in the fast life, in the pimp's blood. Pimp's blood. Pimp's blood.
So, here we are. The actual straight-up Templar fucking Illuminati banks of the Dutch Netherlands. Yeah, it's a real thing. All you crazy conspiracy nuts that fucking... Yeah, Lord of the Rings is finally starting now. Okay, yeah, this is, try to meet me halfway with this shit. If you want me to listen to your crazy Illuminati fucking goddamn stonemason conspiracies... You gotta at least, I need to be able to put something on this table too. I'm not just gonna listen to the fucking never-ending story, alright? Obviously, there's more to it on every front. Yeah, we'll get to, after this, we can finally get back to the stock market crash in the 30s and, World War II. Again, if you're sitting here waiting, I thought this was about World War II. Yeah, in a normal documentary, it would start with the evil Germans invading everyone, and then, here comes George Washington, slave man running in the Dutch Indies, going to shoot some Indians. Oh, no, that was around this time period, actually, 1700s. Hey, if you've kept up with any of this, come on. If you can't handle one propagized Axis perspective of World War II, we're not starting with the evil German invasion of everyone else. We're starting with the goddamn stock market crash because some mobsters went hipster douchebag. Yeah, some Latin douchebags went hipster douchebag, and fucking tell me about it, brah. I don't know, I might put this in a little intermediate playlist when I'm done. The point is, it's heavily overlooked. Of course this gets breezed over most. There was a depression. What happened? Whatever. I'm trying to, get you in a headspace where you actually understand how this happens. So it's not just this mysterious fucking, you get it. You get it. And then from there, you can make your own decision. Who was more desperate? Who was more greedy? Who became more hipster douchebag? Indeed. Yeah, we'll get there. And if you're wondering why I keep referring back to the Crusades, okay, first of all, if you're, several reasons. What's with the Crusades? Who gives a shit? I'm sure the Jews give a shit. First of all, yeah. Before we get into Nazis, I guarantee you the Jews are happy that this is pertinent to all this. They're still fighting the Crusades. As we speak, Mohinder is running up on fucking Jerusalem once again. Yeah. Fucking Iraqi douchebag went hipster douchebag. Tell me about it, Harminder. Yeah, we've been over this. Yeah, we'll get to that. 9/11 and all. Oh yeah, yeah. Anyone with your crazy 9/11 conspiracy, we'll get there, bud. Fucking Mohinder might be running up on your place next, bud. Just saying. We'll get there. Long story short, they've been fighting over. Yeah, we were doing this too. We fought over Jerusalem for centuries, and then they're still fighting over Jerusalem. It's got a lot. Yeah, Jews in Jerusalem and Muslim Afghans and Italian Knights Hospitaller of the Crusades. We've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, we backed out a while ago, but some of us are still involved, of course. And the thing you might get, I know how this sounds. We know more about it than you do. Yeah, if you're not sure, then it's self-evident. If not, just culturally, yeah, we're right next door. It's right around the corner from the fucking Quickie Mart. Goddamn Salalalaman lived right next door a few, like 100 years ago. Yeah, exactly. And I guess to cap that off, a lot of, I guess quote unquote like Nazi symbolism and swastikas and a lot of what people came here looking for relates to, a lot of, the Iron Cross, the Maltese Knight Cross, and the Hospitaller Cross. If you just shave this part off and this part off, they didn't want to copy us completely, so they changed it a little bit and turned it into a fucking swastika. Yeah, the Hindu monks have used it. Yeah, they used it back. Yeah. It's not that complicated. It's a fucking cross with some things on it. Right. These sort of things have bounced around for like over 1,000 years since the Crusades and before. Yeah, back to fucking goddamn Pontius Autopilot. Yeah. So I guess, if you're wondering, how far did this regime go? And are you a Nazi? Aren't you a Nazi? The reason that's an awkward question for, in my position, whatever is literally and hypothetically, it's like, how else can I say it? That was their step towards our culture. Basically, we already were Nazis and they wanted to, it's like we're joining but not joining. They're an independent state. They're like Alaska. They're not part of, we don't own them and they don't own us. We've been maintaining this neutral. We both want to be Nazis too. You probably get it. I don't know how else to say it. It's like, they wanted to join the Crusades, but they wanted their dope Maltese cross shit iron. Yeah, right? Motherfucker wanted his own outfit, right? Some of them wore ours and whatever. Some of us wore theirs. So I already explained this before. This is just capping it off as we get into this fucking tale about the Dutch Netherlands. And this is the thing. Basically, a lot of these wars the Crusade never ended. Yeah, we're still fighting the Crusade. World War II is an example too. If you are going to get all crazy conspiracies, crazy Nazi zombie experiments and fucking Illuminati, whatever is going on, all those kind of conspiracies relate back to the Crusades, these orders of knights. This is what you're talking about. I hope you would care if you're into that. If you're into that sort of thing, you know what I mean. The people that are nuts about the stonemasons and shit. Here it is, brah. Let's talk about the fucking stonemasons and the one ring to rule their balls in the Dutch Netherlands because his bitchy wife needs some more fucking flowers. Flanders Fields, indeed. Yeah, it's very close by. Hey, guys, you've made a lot of progress. Remember the Dutch Netherlands? You could buy hookers out of a window now. Exactly. So basically, this took place before World War I or II, basically right before, in the height of the old regime, back in the days of the Monitor Dreadnought in the Dutch Indies, mate. Yeah, straight up. About a century before that started, So early to mid 1700s, the Dutch had pioneered these, as what the model of the bank that we use today. They didn't invent it, but this was their modern, and I guess the reason this is a great example, one, it's the earliest we know of in this type of banking. It's also a perfect little petri dish because it was a small, a small country still, but small little economy, and the banks were mainly only within there. They might have had one on each border or something, but you know what I mean. This is a nice small little number of banks and number of people. It'll get crazy when we get to the American Stock Exchange. Just multiply the numbers by millions, basically, and same kind of thing is happening. And of course, this is long after the Crusades. The Crusades were around 1000 AD. This is about 1700s, and then, yeah, World War II's in the 1900s. So, right. Just, again, the main reason we're doing this is because it is the easiest way to understand how these stock bubbles, and, like, it relates to things like communism, and, oh, yeah, I do have an idea. I have a proposal for how to fix the economy, but... yeah, you want me to get George Washington with this shit? Like, yeah, yeah. This way, hopefully, most people have an idea that they can add on to themselves. You get the idea. Yeah, this is... yeah. If you got a better way to explain it, shoot for it. Anyway, yeah, what happened in these early banks? There's more to it than bitchy wives with their flowers, but that's what created the speculation. Of the easiest, way to start, I guess, summarizing it, we'll get into little things, is... I had where's my checklist here? Yeah. Okay, so establishing that you got it, 1700s in the Dutch Netherlands between France and Germany. It's a small country. It's got a wealthy infrastructure in itself. Like, I mean, it was one of the earliest, like, middle-class societies. So, yeah, I'm sure some people were living shitty lives, but there was much less distinction between king and peasant, basically. With such a small country that was able to, yeah, it's easier to feed a few, like, 20,000 people than it is to feed hundreds of thousands of people. You get it. They were just setting a vague, chalk outline before we really get into it, before we walk inside that bank there. So, yeah, one of the first middle-class societies in Europe, or, as far as we know of in our area. And really what that means is you got lots of people spending small amounts of money on a regular basis, compared to a few rich people who spend lots of money. Yeah, whatever. It's more complicated. They're, yeah, nickel and diming little bits. And yeah, they pioneered our modern banking and, based on older credit unions and shit between knights and that. And the idea of using checks and bills instead of nickel and dime bartering, especially with different kinds of coins. You'd have like 3 or 4 different, Swiss francs and fucking Spanish bullion and, yeah, German marks and whatever, Italian fucking whatever the fuck this is exactly. You got 3 or 4 different kinds of coinage coming from around you, and yeah, just imagine this cart, like, loaded up with nickels and dimes and quarters going to the bank. Pretty fucking much. So, with checks, they could just write a check and take it to the bank, and the bank has all the nickels and dimes and quarters, so you don't have to haul that shit around all day. And imagine, like, you can imagine being in a transaction with a few people in a market, and it's like, oh, I gotta get the change out. Wait, that's the wrong kind. You can see how at first, basically what I'm trying to say is, the bank itself is not really the problem. It's an organ in the machine. It can get fucked up. We'll get into it. Yeah, what? Fake money, fake credit, loan? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, that's where you get at. As long as there's gold in the bank, as long as there's anything as long as it doesn't turn into a Jar Jar Binks shit show festival. I guess all I'm trying to say is, yeah, it's one of those things. Just get rid of the bank. That's not a complete solution. The bank itself is not the problem. You could still have the same problems with or without a bank. So, you probably get how just having, like, savings, like, yeah, can I put my money in the account? Yeah, you get 1% a year or whatever give them a small cut for protection money, for, safeguarding your money for you and providing the convenience of checks and, yeah, come pick it up here, there, etc. The basic things still seem to work, at least on a manageable scale. Yeah, if there's enough room for the people in the Dutch Netherlands to keep their nickels and dimes and quarters in that worked at first. That wasn't the problem. Not until their bitchy wives wanted all these fucking flowers from wherever. And no, they didn't just go spend all their money on flowers. Think about it, they're businessmen. Oh, why don't we sell the flowers? Yeah, get the extortion racket. Want to work with Wieden or Woden or whoever the fuck? Yeah, these motherfuckers, yeah, let's get the flower shop mafia going. I know, I'm exaggerating for comedic effect. I don't doubt someone got buried in a flower patch somewhere, maybe just 1 or 2 people, try to cut in on my flower profits. I know, you can imagine. It became a more booming business. Basically, this was one of the bigger, like, yeah, upper middle class luxury markets. Yeah, like alcohol, tobacco, morphine, or fucking, you know what I mean? Opium from the Dutch Indies, mate. Yeah, these luxury markets. Tea and spices, flowers, yeah, things that upper middle class people could afford to spend a few nickels and dimes on every week or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it started with just a few flower shops or guys who made a business selling flowers because it was, big demand luxury market. Once the demand was there, some guy got the idea, why don't I turn my house into a flower shop, or whatever his general store. One day it's just his flower shop. You get the idea. Other people eventually start catching on, but that's the easiest place to start. And, naturally these guys are going to grow them. Yeah, growing flower. They're probably growing some weed too. It is the Dutch Netherlands, brah. Yeah, exactly. Eventually he's going to have to decide, what's more valuable, weed or other flowers? With this flower or that flower? Now, this crisis is often called tulip mania. Yeah, the tulip indeed. Why are tulips worth more than weed or fucking opium eventually? Sort of. We'll get into it. Depends how much you want to speculate. How much are you willing to spend on a fucking Beanie Baby? Pretty much, that's what it comes to. When people are willing to spend anything on something. Yeah, that's a sneak preview. We'll get to it. Basically, tulips it's a flower that can be many different colors. Yeah, I want the yellow flowers, this is the thing. His bitchy wife probably doesn't know much about these flowers. She's looking at colors straight up. She's like, I want all a big thing of colorful flowers. Bitch doesn't need to know it's 20 different flowers. Just get a bunch of tulips. Exactly. Just get a bunch of tulips. You can make them any color you want and say they're from wherever the fuck. They're a bunch of different colors. That's all she's really demanding. So the smarter flower shops caught on first. Nothing but tulips. Maximum, all the flower pottage space is all for tulips, and you can carefully crossbreed, manage which ones are which. They're, as far as I could tell, this was the easiest way to do it. Compared to, getting lilacs and lilies and, that's a lot of work and less bang for your buck. The smarter businessmen flooded their shops with tulips and managed the colors well enough to, you want blue, yellow, red, And there's, fucking Lord of the Rings indeed. There was one color of tulip, the fiery pink rose. It's like half white, half pink, half red. It looks like that's the nicest one. If it doesn't have that, it's not quite the best, is it? Yeah, she loves him more than her loves. Means you're not as good as some guy. Exactly. So what you got to do is, they didn't know this. They had no way of knowing what caused this. It's like a disease in the plant. I'm sure. I'm not saying they didn't know about it. I'm sure they had the intuition. Like, there's something off here. This ain't normal. There's something to it. But they didn't have Dr. Heisenschroger's electron microscope. They didn't know about viruses and DNA and RNA. They didn't know exactly what was causing this. But it was a very rare, every once in a blue moon, the whole patch, you might get one of these pink fire color rose things, tulips, that has this unique color that's the result of, like, a virus eating the color out of it, basically. And just to be clear, the virus doesn't affect humans. It only affects flowers. I'm just pointing out that there was a small little aspect of nature they had no real control over. They were trying to speculate on, we'll get to it. But the virus doesn't kill anyone. It has nothing to do with it, apart from the fact that it's something they didn't know enough about, basically. So, again, there's probably some little details that could be filled in on, but the best place to start with this is, people were already pre-ordering, you want to pre-order your game, whatever. Pre-ordering blue, red, yellow, whatever, because it was consistent. It was a manageable supply. Oh, I need a dozen next week. Sure, here's a dozen blue, red, whatever. With the pink rose, people knew enough. I don't have a bunch. I'm lucky to get one. So some people were willing to pay for the next one ahead of time. It's like, I'll give you the money now, and when you get you get it. 20 more people show up. I'll pay for the next one. I'll pay for the next one. How far into the future can we speculate on these future contracts? This is where the economy, all economies, all stocks markets, all of this capitalist or communist, either way you cut it, brah. I don't care if it's the left arm or the right arm, right. As soon as you start speculating on how many of these rare fucking flowers are going to come up over the next 50 years, and then 1,000 more people show up the next day with more money in their pockets, I'll pay more for the next one. I'll pay more for the next one. Fake money, fake value. Everyone's throwing money at something that doesn't exist yet. This is where it starts to get crazy. Now, that didn't happen all at once. It took a little while for the buzz to spread, for people to hear about things as they happened. They didn't have Facebook, so between seasons of growing the flowers, from one year to the next, the next batch of flowers will be ready in the spring. So yeah, within the span of a couple seasons, basically the first season is when the original flower shop owners, that's when they go all tulips. After the first season of growth a year later is when the market booms and oh, here's all the tulips, everyone's running in to buy the tulips. The next growth season a year after that is when the speculation market comes in. People are like, oh, if I scalpers for tickets kind of thing, I'll buy it first and then sell it to someone else. I'll pay for the next one. This is where you get into people buying things that don't exist, basically. Yeah, this is where it fucks up. Do not buy something that doesn't exist unless it's already there, basically, unless it does exist. It's kind of like those crowdfunding projects, like, yeah, people donate money for people to make video games or movies or art or, whatever. But, yeah, that's a small part of our luxury market today. People do lose a lot of money on stuff like that and get swindled. There's some common, scandals with video game systems. Yeah, people donating money to, like, remake, we're gonna make another Atari or some stupid shit like that. Yeah, sure enough, nothing happens, and then, sorry, and of course, it's in the disclaimer. You lost your money fair and square, basically. And yeah, it's sleazy. No, I'm not, it's definitely some sleazy douchebag bullshit, so be careful. You get what I mean. It's like that, it's a similar kind of thing, but in this case, it went further, basically. And yeah, is if that wasn't crazy enough, you can, to the next dimension, or you know what I mean, squared, cubed, to the power of 2 or 3. It gets crazier, yep, because people start trading the contract itself. So yeah, when I go in to pre-order a game or a flower, I'll get the next one. What are you, third in line, fourth in line? The fourth one that comes out of your workshop there, I'll take that one. So you pay for it, he gives you the contract for the fourth, red rose, fire rose flower to come out of the batch, and then you can go sell that to someone else. Yeah, and then he can sell it to someone else. And if you've got money, I'm going to buy 10 of them, package them together, and sell 10 to someone else so he can split it up and sell, that's where it starts to get nutty. And a bunch of people, it's like Bitcoins, what's something like that, you get what I mean. Oh, get in now, you can make a bunch of money quick. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme, but this is a little different because it's not just a pyramid scheme. It originated from this speculation market of, it had as douchey and sleazy as it became, it had a somewhat honest foundation. And at first it was just people, getting flowers for their wives, whatever, and flower shop owners trying to make an honest living. Eventually, someone went hipster douchebag indeed. Fucking hell, tell me about it, brah. So really, I mean, when you get down to it, the contracts themselves were worth more than the flowers. Yeah, the whole point is to buy and sell the contract and make a profit. Yeah, it got to a point where there's more contracts than flowers, or the flower shop guys realized, you've sold so many, pre-orders for your thing, and you can't get enough of them. And you got to realize, too, no one really had any way of noticing until the next growth season, you know what I mean? Until the next batch of flowers. That's kind of a key distinction here. They had no way of modifying that. In some business, whatever, cut some corners, do this. Yeah, there's nothing they could do. They had to wait for this next batch of flowers to come out next year. So during that whole year, everyone's waiting for that next batch of flowers. How many red roses are there going to be? Yeah, number 1, number 2, number 3 in line might get it. You never know. This is also an example of, insider trading, insider information. The flower shop owners are the insider. They know before anyone else does. They will know how many of those red rose flowers are there before they open their doors that day. You know what I'm saying? That's what insider information is. And if you trade stocks in a company where you have insider knowledge, it's insider trading. Think about it. If they decided to trade off all the contracts, I know it's already getting fucking nutty. Just realize this didn't all happen in a day, but it did happen over the course of just a couple of years when it got crazy because, again, no one had reason to suspect anything unusual until the next growth season. So there was a whole year of these upper middle class people hearing about the new Bitcoin market. Ooh, I could make a quick 1,000. Yeah, everyone, literally pretty much everyone in this economy rushes in to throw whatever spare change they can, hoping to make some money in the Bitcoin market. Oh, I'll buy one of those tulip contracts, so I sold it to this guy. And it gets to a point where there's more contracts than there are there's no way they can fill this quota. But you might have to wait 100 years. You might be dead by the time your number comes up. Number 500. You think thousands of people exactly. And I guess the key distinction here, if you're wondering, how big can the balloon get? before the balloon pops, how big can the boom get before it busts? Basically, as long as new customers keep flooding in and spending money. Right. If 1,000 more people show up and they all want to spend money on it, it's going to keep inflating. And 1,000 more people, you see it on Facebook and shit. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Any bullshit marketing scheme anywhere. It depends on new people. Yeah, get 20 more people. Get 20 more people. The pyramid scheme, indeed. That's what it became. As long as you keep adding new bricks to the bottom, whatever, new money to the system, it'll keep inflating. There's more, whatever, you get there's interest, there's, as soon as that stops, as soon as the engines stop pushing the airplane forward, it crashes like a market or an airplane crashing because the engines stopped moving. There's no more new customers, there's no more new people showing up to spend more money. And what that means is when people stop buying, the people who came in, here's 1,000 more people to buy those contracts. When that stops, you have no new buyers. The market is saturated. There's no new customers, which means no one can sell anything. Yeah, so you went and spent all this money on all these expensive flower contracts, hoping to sell them and make a profit, but no one's buying anything anymore. And yeah, here comes the guy with the flowers, like, okay, no one gives a shit about the flowers, buddy, throw those in the fucking garbage. But yeah, literally, that's the funniest, point. By the time the flowers come around, no one gives a shit. They're, sitting in the garbage while these guys bitch about these contracts and what they're gonna do about this situation. You can imagine, after all this, just the flowers sitting in the fucking garbage in the corner while they're debating this. Because, yeah, I mean, as soon as the flowers come out, there's no more speculation. Yeah, you get how it's they almost want you to if you had to wait 100 years for this flower, that means I can trade this contract for 100 years to them. They don't want the flowers there because that means they can't trade the contracts anymore. This would be a lot easier without the flowers. I know, right? Yeah, this would be a lot fucking easier without the fucking flowers. And yeah, there is more to things like bitcoins than that, but essentially with something like that, you're trading these bitcoins. Yeah, there's no flower. Whatever. As long as someone else is willing to buy it, as long as new people are going to flood in and spend money on it, yeah, you got people to sell to. And basically when this stock market crash happens, basically, yeah, no one wants to buy these contracts anymore, or no new people want to. So the initial flood stops. So yeah, you want to jumpstart the airplanes. Well, is anyone else gonna? Yeah, you want to trade between me and you if we both have a bunch of these and no one's buying them? Yeah, well, it's dude, I'm not gonna give you more money. I'll give you half. Yeah, cash for gold. I'll give you $20. Yeah. Basically, after the new buyers stop and there's a lull and a choke, it's oh my god, what do we do? The initial panic is sort of broken by people offering much less. At least make something back. You might break even. Yeah, I'll buy up whatever is available here for 10 cents on the dollar. If you spent $1,000 on your contracts, I'll give you $20 for what you're $100 for the 2,000 you paid. So some of them, I would say the smarter ones, bailed out early, and the longer you wait, eventually the guy, if he waits too long, the guy holding all the hot potatoes, they're going to be worth fucking nothing when, you get, I don't know. I know how crazy it sounds, but you probably have a much better sense of it now. This can apply to almost anything. And yeah, I know the term, supply and demand, I know it's in and out, one ear and out the other in a lot of ways. It's kind of overused. But I'm sure you get it. Demand. No, you need... If no one is demanding it, if the bitchy wives aren't demanding the flowers or whatever, someone needs to want it. If no one wants it, if no one needs it, who the fuck's gonna buy it? Yeah, some people do. But in general, the whole supply and demand thing. To have a strong business, you need both. Yeah, we got the best supply, we got the best best trucks in the industry. Okay, cool. Does anyone want the best trucks in the industry? If no one wants them, it doesn't matter how good your product is or how much you have if no one wants it. If people want it, then you better be someone better produce it. Whoever can is going to make it. You get it. As soon as people stop wanting something, as soon as people stop wanting Beanie Babies or Bitcoins, or you get it. As soon as people stop buying Bitcoins or wanting or caring, they might, that's complicated. Money laundering, etc. We'll get to it. Yeah, money laundering indeed. But you get it. As soon as people stop spending money, as soon as people want to spend money on it, stop stop wanting to spend money on anything, that will crash that market. And it gets, what about the housing? Well, if the housing is too expensive, that yeah, no buyers, no one can buy a house if they can't afford it. That's going to crash a market too. If real estate gets too expensive, it'll stranglehold this. Yeah, if no one can afford it, same problem. You're not going to have any buyers. So yeah, with real estate speculation, yeah, we'll get to it later. It's very similar. People buy and sell properties, and without actually living in them. Yeah, what is it, like some 20-30% of like most like livable homes in North America, or no one lives in them, or the owner just buys and sells it. And I used to like deliver materials to properties where, yeah, they build it and sell it, and sometimes someone else would come and rip it down and build something else. It's like, my God, man. And then they'll sell it to someone else. Yeah, a lot of it is this speculation game where they're hoping to buy a cheap property and sell it for more. And again, it's like as soon as new customers stop flowing in, oh, we got rich people from China, rich people from wherever, it doesn't matter. Rich people from fucking anywhere. As soon as you can't find more new rich people who want to buy a property wherever, yeah, as soon as that speculation market dies off, as soon as the hunger for it, same thing, you're left with your normal market, whatever, local people who can't afford these mortgages now. We'll get into the mortgage thing later, I've talked about it before, but it's a similar thing where the market becomes buying and selling pieces of paper because it's easier than running back and forth between houses or flower beds. Be a lot easier without the flowers or the houses, right? Yeah. So the Dutch Netherlands still exists today. Yeah, it didn't destroy the Dutch Netherlands, but it was pretty harsh. Like, it crashed their banking economy. Basically, even when you think of the whole, there's not enough gold in the bank, they were still using a gold standard at the time. It does become relevant later. I've talked about it before. But this is where they sort of realized that something had to change. They needed, well, obviously not. Yeah, it still happens. I'm sure they realized at some point, because like I said, this didn't become as apparent until a bit later. But I'm sure from that, yeah, I'm sure they were more cautious about it from then forward. The next Bitcoin thing they heard about, oh, you want to buy a flower contract? Yeah, what? You get it. Just the very idea that there is a limit to this bubble, I'm sure they made some note of it. And I guess what I'm saying is, those crazy Illuminati stonemason conspiracies. Hey, I'm not saying there aren't rich families kicking around, living it up in private little snooty social clubs. But yeah, they already know that there's a limit to these. You can only go so far with this sort of crazy Dr. Evil, Mr. Burns fucking, yeah, stroking your mustache, fucking diving into billions of dollars worth of gold. Yeah, no, it's at a certain point, you're gonna fuck yourself with greed and end up broke. Basically, we've been over it. I guess all I'm saying is, I kind of said it before, even rich people can go broke overnight, and basically most people who are billionaires, whatever, they're in competition with other billionaires who want their properties, etc. So, yeah, if they flail too many dildos around and go all fucking Caligula on that shit, they're not going to last long, basically. They can only last so long, bathing in opulence before they're at risk of, yeah, being killed by someone else or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They can only take it so far, so just, I guess, yeah, like I said, there's more than one. It's not just one guy who rules the world. There's many, many Dr. Evils indeed. And of course, in the Dutch Netherlands there, what didn't even start with Dr. Evil, it was just people getting greedy and like, whatever, honest greed or, yeah, they weren't malicious, they were just, ooh, more money, yeah, ooh, I can make more money. Eventually, they lost their money, right? And I don't know, yeah. I'm sure someone won the lottery, whoever ended up selling the best deal last, yeah. There was a small number of people who profited, a fair amount of people who broke even or, negligible losses, didn't lose that much, or made a really small profit, whatever. And then a fair amount of people who went broke. So I guess the harsh part there is, yeah, that, middle class, somewhat wealthy middle class of the Dutch Netherlands, it's quite a shock when, yeah, like a third of them lost their house or couldn't afford their house. One of the, quotes to attach to this whole thing is, yeah, a flower became worth more than a house. Literally, these flower contracts when that speculation bubble swelled. So yeah, some people would have literally traded their house for a fucking flower because, yeah, because it was supposed to be worth more money until people stopped buying them. So some people did lose their houses or whatever, yeah, and it's like, damn, yeah, it's quite a shock to and right, it's like, after they, here's your fucking flower, bitch. Whatever. Yeah, again, I'm not blaming, I'm just saying, again, it's quite innocent. Yeah, I'm sure most of them just wanted some pretty flowers. They're not, whatever. But you get it, that initial speculation. If, yeah, when people want, how much do you really want that Beanie Baby? What is it worth to you? What is that fucking flower worth to you? You know, good examples in the modern day, you might think, ooh, rare collectibles. Yeah, that rare Superman #1 comic. Yeah, people go nuts over that shit. There's a great example of a speculation market. Some people will say, oh, it's worth whatever you're willing to pay, bud. Literally, it's worth whatever the craziest person in the world is willing to spend on it. It has as much value as the craziest person in the world is willing to spend on it, and if no one wants to spend anything on it, it will become worth nothing. So if it has value to you personally, sure. If it doesn't, there are people who people buy and sell collectibles to make money and often find themselves in a shitty situation. Same with scalpers. They'll buy a bunch of something when it comes out hoping to sell it off, you know, and they can't make their money back. And yeah. It's hard to feel bad about someone in that situation. And so yeah, with the stock market crash of the 30s, we'll get into it next time and actually get to World War II. But yeah, basically when the market had saturated, when all the new customers had already bought something, yeah, like, you know, you get it as the word spreads, oh, the stock market, people are making crazy money on Wall Street. So more people come in, oh, I'll spend some money on Wall Street, and yeah, more people come in, I'll spend some money on Wall Street. Eventually, no more people are coming in. There's no more people left to come in. There's no more new customers left in the country, or whoever had already spent money on it. You get it. As soon as there's no new people flooding in to spend more money, the people who are already there waiting to sell what they had already bought, yeah, no one's buying anything. Oh, what? Yeah. So we'll get into it from there next time. Pretty much. It doesn't matter what they're trading. Again, this would be a lot easier without the flowers, wouldn't it? Yeah, it sure would.